I'm Christina Johnson, and I'm here to introduce you guys to the Faith of a Mustard Seed necklace. I myself have been through a lot of trials, and faith has carried me through. So I want you guys to have a representation of how powerful your faith is. In 2009, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease. I went to the doctor I kind of felt something in my tummy, but she said, "You're very, very tiny, and it looks like you have a goiter." I didn't know what a goiter was. She wanted to run some tests, and a few days later, she called me and said, "I can't touch anything until you see your internist because you have Graves' disease." And I remember it seemed from that day and moving forward, I started declining. And I almost lost my life from Graves' disease. I would have these thyroid storms, which were these horrible fevers, routinely every 2 weeks. And they were so debilitating that I could barely walk. I lost so much weight, and to the point where you could see the bones in my shoulders, down my back. And the doctor told me that I was going to die. They told me that I had tumors so big that they were starting to move my organs out of the way. One set on my right kidney, and my right kidney got smaller, and my left kidney overcompensated, so it started getting larger, and I was dying. I remember coming from the doctor one day. I would always cry. I had to go every week at this point. And I would get in the car and I would cry because I started to believe the word of the doctors. And I remember clearly God said, "Are you going to believe the word of man, or are you going to stand on my promises?" And what I know of God is that he's not man, so he does not lie. And immediately I decided to stand on his promises. And because of that, I started just to say thank you. No matter how heavy the fevers got, how bad it got, how debilitating they were, I just constantly said thank you. Thank you for my healing. Thank you for what this is about to do for everyone around me. And it was my faith, along with God's grace and mercy, that I believe healed me. So the reason that I started making these necklaces is because I want other people to understand that it matters what you think, it matters what you say, it matters how you feel. Because even when I wasn't feeling well, I saw myself as well. And even when I wanted to ask God constantly, why me? I decided to start asking him, why not me? And if he chose me for this, obviously I'm strong enough to handle it. And even when I didn't think that I was. And eventually I was healed. I had a surgery, and the following year I had another surgery, and the following year I had another surgery. I was cut hip to hip. I lost my womb. But the strength that I gained, the resilience that I gained, the power that I gained going through that, I would do it all again. The people that it's affected in such a positive way, I would do it again for them. I am a walking testimony as to how powerful faith is. If we believe the word of man, surely we can perish. I feel that it's a choice, but if you really, really put your faith in God, you can be healed. And I think that is in every avenue of your life, not just people suffering illness, parents who have children that are on drugs, people that are suffering with mental illness, ADHD, alcoholism, people that are very fearful. I think that faith is the opposite of fear. Fear is not even real. I think that if you truly put your faith in God and you truly believe that anything that you want, because he says, I will give you the desires of your heart. And he didn't say some, maybe your wants, not some of your needs. He said all of the desires of your heart. So if you really, really trust him and really believe him and have this tiny bit of faith, it will change your life. It saved mine. It saved my life.
Hi, I'm Christy Sims. I am a mother, I am a professional counselor, and I am a survivor of domestic violence and acid attack. About 7 years ago, it's been 7 years for me. I consider this the year of completion, 7 years of healing. But 7 years ago, I was in a relationship, and I made the decision to leave that relationship. And as a result of me wanting to end the relationship, I was attacked by my ex-boyfriend. It was April 28th, 2013, about 2:30 in the afternoon, and my entire life changed forever. I was in my home. I had just finished my master's degree. I was a practicing therapist, and I was extremely happy that day. I remember being blissfully happy that day at 2 o'clock. By 2:30, I was in complete agony. He called me to the bathroom of my home, and he doused me with industrial-grade sulfuric acid. Destroyed my entire face. I was blinded at that time, and I thought I was going to die, quite frankly. But it was my faith, my lifelong faith in God, that sustained me. Even in the midst of that hell, I could feel the presence of God. I could feel the presence of God that day. And I knew that I didn't know what my outcome would be, but I had hope that I would live to raise my children. I was in a coma for 2 months, and I was blind for almost 4 months. The doctors told me I would never be able to see again. But I could not say the words. I could never tell people that I could not see. And so I would sometimes pretend. I call it practicing faith. I would pretend that I could see, because I could not accept the fact that I could not see. Time went on. I healed over time. I've had 13 surgeries. It's been 7 years, like I said, and I've done a lot of amazing things. I've started a nonprofit organization, the Christy Sims Foundation. I've helped get laws passed. I've helped a lot of other people. But it has been my faith, through it all, my faith in God that I've had since I was a little girl. The faith of a mustard seed, the faith when things did not make sense, that kept me going through that process. And that faith I got from watching my mother. You know, I come from a long line of women of faith, and I know that it was absolutely God that got me through. They told me I would never see again, and I can see clearly. That's a blessing. You know, it's an absolute blessing. But here I am. It's been 7 years, and I am here. And I am beautiful. I feel beautiful again. What am I believing in God for now? Well, I want love, unconditional love, lifelong love. And so I'm believing that God is going to give me what he has promised me, and that is double for my trouble, and that includes love and prosperity. If I could give a mustard seed to every single domestic violence victim and survivor, to give them hope and faith, I would give every single person in the world one. Hi, I'm Christy Sims, and I am a mountain mover, because I've done everything that they said I could not do. They said I'd never have a normal life. I have an extraordinary life. They said I'd never see again. I can see clearly. They said I'd never love again, and I will again. I am a mountain mover.
Hello, my name is Marquita Sims. My faith testimony is, I'm 37 years old now, but at the age of 19, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. And with being diagnosed, I was told that I could not have children. Needless to say, I went through a phase of a little bit of depression, not believing, but I had people that was in my corner that was praying for me. And now I have 4 children. I have 2 boys and 2 girls. The ages of 13, 10, 9, and 7. My first pregnancy was a twin pregnancy. I was pregnant with a girl and a boy. In my 8th month of being pregnant, my baby girl, she ended up dying. So I had to carry my twin boy throughout the rest of the pregnancy. And when I gave birth to him, I just looked and I just know that there is a God. God helped him, through all of this because he was protected. I was even protected, but I just thank God for him making it. I am believing God for so much. I'm believing God for more divine connections. Everything is purposed by God. The next phase that I'm stepping into, or I will say the next season that I'm stepping into, I will be preparing to be ordained as a pastor December 12th. So I just thank God for the move that he has made in my life, considering everything that I've been through in my life. It's so much. This mustard seed necklace, with it being faith, is so small, and all we need is just a little bit. And a little bit can carry you so far if you just keep trusting and believing in everything that God is doing. I am believing God for a new home for me and my children. I'll be a first-time homeowner very, very, very soon. I'm also believing God for the business ideas that he's given me. He gave me 7. So I know that these 7, they will line up with what God has for me in my life. All you got to do is line your life up with what God's word is saying, and you will be successful in any and everything that you do. Okay, this beautiful necklace, it reminds me so much of just having a little bit of faith. Again, if you just have a little bit of faith, your faith can go where you can't go. Just trust and believe in God. This necklace, it reminds me so much of, it gave me a look back over my entire life from being a little girl, being rejected, being judged, being talked about, but God is all I can say. This necklace I would give to my children, being that they are still children and they are growing, and as they grow, they're gonna go through obstacles in life. And this is a reminder to them that no matter what, just still have the faith, because your faith will carry you in places that you cannot go. I am Marquita Sims, and I am a mountain mover.
Hi, my name is Paula Brown. I'm a mother of 2, a grandmother of 2. My faith story is back in September of 2019. I was rushed to the hospital with pain in my stomach, what looks like at the time to be gallstones. Had an operation, had the gallbladder removed. 2 weeks later, after recovering, still in more pain, went to the hospital, did more tests, and I was told I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. At that time, I didn't know what to think or what to do, but one thing I can say is that my faith in God never wavered. God was always with me through the whole entire process. I had family members who were very scared for me being the youngest child out of 6, and we already lost a sibling to cancer. Everyone was just frantic. But I had to reassure my family that God had me. He would never leave me nor forsake me. I learned by reading Proverbs. In Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, it states, "Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not to thine own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path." So I had to lean not to my own understanding. I literally had to trust in the Lord and continue to ask him to build me up in my most holy faith. So went through chemo for 6 months. Which was a struggle. There were nights when I felt God holding me, telling me that he had me. 3 months after chemo, I get bad news, a report to come to the hospital for my son. And by the time I got to the hospital, my son went home to be with the Lord. I struggled with it and I questioned God. I asked him why, because my son was such a remarkable child, young man. He was remarkable. He was such a man of faith. He would brighten up the room when he walked in the room. So I questioned God and I asked him, why did you take my only son away from me? My daughter's only brother, why would you take him? But God had a plan and he had a purpose, and my son already fulfilled his purpose. So now it was my turn. And even through all of that, if I did not know who God was, I would have been out of my mind. So that faith that I had throughout my whole childhood, and me watching my parents and my church family just instilling the effects of faith inside of me. All of that I learned through all of that helped me to even endure the loss of my son and going through colon cancer. But as I can say today, I'm sitting here a living witness that God is still in the healing business. He healed my body from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. Had a CAT scan done 3 months ago, and there are no more signs of cancer, not one bit. And I just bless God and I praise him. And this mustard seed right here, faith, is a reminder of me that that's all we need. It's just a little seed, a mustard seed faith, and God will move and do amazing things. He will do exceedingly and abundantly above whatever we could ever hope for or even imagine. So I thank Christina Johnson for allowing me to share my testimony, my story, and I'm hoping and praying that it will bless someone and that someone will know that that's all you need is a faith of a size of a mustard seed. This mustard seed necklace to me is a reminder of all the faith that I just need to do anything that I want to do in life, any mountains that I may come across in my life. This is just a reminder of what I can do, and I just have this is just a sign of faith. Faith without works is dead. You have to put that work behind it, though. You just can't say you got faith, but you have to put work behind it. So this is just a reminder for me of what faith is to me and how God can just move mountains. I would give this mustard seed necklace to anyone who is battling any terminal illness or have lost someone close to them, just as a reminder that God said that he will never leave nor forsake you, and that just having the amount of faith the size of a mustard seed that's all you need. My name is Paula Brown, and I am a mountain mover.